What's going on, everybody? It is your boy, Dre Sense, and we got a little bit of a video, a little bit of a discussion. You know how we do it here on the channel. Listen, before I get into it, I need something from you. I need you to like this video. I need you to share this video, and I need you to sub to the channel. Yeah, so every now and then you go to the rack store and it's disappointing. Not that they didn't have anything, which in this case is a little bit of both. Had to go to my doctor, so I stopped off at the Burlington. I normally stop off in Huntsville and find some gems, some really good fragrances. Now I did find some things for a friend of mine that was looking. What was it? Tuberose Overdose by Banana Republic was one that she was looking for, so I picked that up for her. Hoping to score on a lot of Lattafa fragrances. I see a lot of Lattafa. Didn't really see anything. Didn't really have much of anything. I did make a purchase. I bought 4 different things. And a little bit disappointed. And they are from the House of Lattafa. One is Fakar from the House of Lattafa. It is Fakar. And the other one is, what is this? Honor and Glory from Lattafa. And these are Parfum body sprays. The lady, when I was checking out, kept trying to explain to me that they were deodorants, and I was just like, ma'am, it says right there, Parfum sprays. But I digress. Why am I disappointed? Well, $5.99. Which Lattafa's pretty cheap. $5.99. Ooh, that's cold. I had watched a few reviews on this and thought, if that does anything for $5.99, if it performs any for $5.99, it's gonna be a win. Well, in my humble opinion, I think Lattafa needs to stick to fragrances. I don't think they need to do the body spray. Now, I sprayed, I think they had their version of Oud for Glory there. And the body spray, I sprayed it and it was very strong. It was very potent. So it could be that these two are bad. The smell is okay, but just very faint, just very faint. And I know you're probably thinking, for $6, what did you expect? Well, you pay $4 for a can of Axe. And honestly, for what you pay for that, it does a pretty decent job. It does what it's supposed to do. But again, everything can't be a rock star. Everything can't be a win. It just can't. That's just not life. Yeah, I don't get a whole lot out of it. I don't get any of the things that's supposed to be in it. The creaminess, pick up on just a little bit, the pineapple, the creme brulee, all of that stuff that it's said that this is supposed to smell like. Again, maybe from the actual bottle of perfume or cologne, you may get it. But from this, I just don't get it. And again, this one is, what did I say this was? Fakar. And this one is supposed to be similar to YSL, right? Now, if you're hot in the summertime and you spray these on, you're going to be very refreshed. And this one was $1 more for whatever reason. This one was $6.99. And this one was $5.99. Yeah, I don't get much out of them. I just don't get a whole lot. I don't get a whole lot of a scent profile out of them. They just, And it could be me. Maybe I was expecting more because I know the familiarity with Lattafa fragrances. I still have some fragrances out from my last video, like this right here. Beautiful, 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 potent, strong. Oh my God. That smells so good. That smells so good. These, I mean, as it sits on my skin, I can pick up sort of a scent profile, or sort of a scent, but not enough to make out what it is. I guess what I'm trying to say is, in my humble opinion, Lattafa does a lot of things good, but body sprays ain't one of them. So they gave me a receipt for a reason. So yes, I will be returning these my next trip back to a Burlington near me. I know you're probably thinking, well, 12 bucks, 13 bucks. Why would you bother returning it? Well, if I'm going that way, 13 bucks is 13 bucks. Plus I have some others that are going back as well. But those two, just oddly enough, they even smell similar. So I'm wondering if those were just damaged or something, because they smell sort of alike and there's no way that they should. Because one of them is supposed to be, again, pineapple, creamy, luscious, and the other one is supposed to be a YSL type of fragrance, and it is not. They both are just very similar. Again, spray them on a hot day, you're gonna get that blast of cold air. That's one good thing for them. But other than that, no. This next one I bought, and was actually happy to see it at Burlington. But upon my initial spray, I'm just not wowed by it. I don't really see what people were seeing in this fragrance. And again, it could have been my expectations was higher. I have the original. This fragrance doesn't have a lot of flankers. It's from the house of Guy Laroche, and it is Drakkar Noir Intense. And I really thought this one was like gonna wow me and knock me down and be just this, mysterious, deep, modern version of Drakkar, and just be amazing, because I've seen so many reviewers talk about how amazing this fragrance is. Presentation, basic, but that's fine, because a lot of presentations are basic, and the bottle is, the scent, the juice in it is wonderful. A plastic cap is a plastic cap, so whatever. Atomizer is nothing to, whatever. Give myself two snaps. You will pick up on the Drakkar Noir DNA instantly. They did a great job of that. And this is a EDP concentration. They did a great job of that. Now, imagine Drakkar with some added nuances to it. Spicy, warmer. Maybe upon the initial, the second. I think what the problem is, when you've been in frag common around fragrances as long as I have, and I've talked about this, the quality of fragrances has went up, especially since this fragrance was made and released. It's been out a few years. Smelling that fragrance beside, I hate to keep bringing this one up, but smelling that beside something like this, there is a huge quality difference. It just is. Now, had I smelled this 8 years ago, I might think, wow, that's pretty good. That's pretty dope. smelling that in 2025, I think it's heavy on the alcohol. It's a little underdeveloped, and it's just underwhelming. It's just underwhelming. Now, if you have this fragrance and it's one of your go-tos and it's one of your best fragrances, hey, wear it, brother. Enjoy it. Spray up. But for me, it's going to be a hard pass. And the reason for it is I just have fragrances in my collection that does what this fragrance is trying to do better. Example, Calvin Klein Defy. Calvin Klein Defy, the EDP. I would rather take this one back and it was $25 plus tax. So you add that with the other, $12 or $13. We're up to what? $35, $36. I would rather take that back the next time I go to Burlington and put that money back and put it towards a better fragrance, a higher quality fragrance, maybe something a little bit different. As those Lattafas are just sitting there doing nothing. Yeah, just very, very underwhelming. Just not a whole lot of pop, not a lot of punch to them. This one, again, had I smelled it several years ago, I might would think, wow, that is an amazing fragrance. But where we are with fragrances today, it's just not it. It's just not it. And again, they gave me a receipt for a reason, and I'm going to put that bad boy to use. So again, nothing against Drakkar Noir Intense. It's just not the fragrance that I thought it was going to be. Just not. So for the $24.99, he goes back in his box. He ain't got to go home. He got to get the hell away from here. So, and again, I'm not trashing the fragrance because that's not my style of review. That's not what I do. I don't trash fragrances, but I'm just simply saying that where I'm at in my fragrance journey and along my path in fragrances, it's not him. It's not him. Again, as you have to realize, I paid the same amount for this. And this is beautiful. I paid $25 for this, for commodity leather. And smelling the two side by side, it's not it. And again, it's not the scent profile, it's honestly the quality of the fragrance. It's not it. And I don't know any other way to say it. I don't know any other way to say it. It's just not it. Not a bad scent profile, not a bad smelling fragrance. If you're a fan of the original Drakkar, and I'm gonna say this, women will probably love the way that smells, especially older women, because they love Drakkar. They absolutely love it. So if you are a fan of the original Drakkar, you will probably be a fan of that. If you do not like the original Drakkar, you're not gonna like that, because that's what it dries down to, is the original Drakkar. And I've had it on my hand for a couple of hours now, and it's not a monster performer. For $25, there's a list 10 miles long of fragrances that can be bought better. I'm not gonna name any of them, but there are. So that being said, 25 bucks, he gotta go. He gotta go home. That's right, we gotta get the hell up out of here. Turn out the lights, the party's over. That was an old football play we used to run in high school when the game was over and we was just killing the clock. That's what the coach would call, turn out the lights, the party's over. We just take a knee. That's what we're doing on there. We're gonna turn out the lights, the party's over. This next one is from the house of Marc Ecko, and it's a fragrance house that I like. I used to wear a lot of their clothing. I actually still have a lot of, well, not a lot, 1 or 2 Marc Ecko watches. And this is Marc Ecko Red. This was the hardest to pass on, but it's going to be a pass as well, simply because, again, where I'm at in my fragrance journey, it's just not it. I have several of the Marc Eckos. I have Marc Ecko Blue, Marc Ecko Green. I think it's Marc Ecko. I have several in this bottle, and they're all pretty good. And this, this is the hardest one to pass on out of the bunch. I'll just be honest with you, because it's not a bad smelling fragrance. And good grief. Put my eyes down so I can see this atomizer. I don't know why these companies, silver atomizer with the white dot. Very hard to see. I guess they didn't think about Trey Charles over here trying to see the fragrance. Okay. Again, had I smelled this fragrance 7 years ago, 8 years ago, would I be impressed by it? The answer is probably yes. Would I like it? Probably so. Probably so. But again, with the way fragrances are being made today, and what you get with this is a nice, fresh fragrance. Very easy to wear, very office friendly, a very easy to like fragrance. Once you let the alcohol move and dissipate, the problem is I've had too much Dapper fragrance in my collection. I've had too much Sensual Obsession. I've had too much Bentley for Men. I've had too much Lattafa. I've had too much Commodity. I've had too much, really, really good fragrances that are well made. Because whether you understand it, whether you agree with it, or whether you like it or not, they're making fragrances better in 2025 than they ever have before. That's my opinion. I'm not saying that the scent profiles, calm down. I'm not saying that they're making anything new, I'm not saying that they're reinventing the wheel. But what I am saying is that we're having more fragrances like Ralph Club, or like Myself by YSL. Those fragrances came out in an EDP concentration. It used to not be that way. But there used to only really be 2 concentrations. You had EDT and EDP. That was it. And all this parfum and extrait and all that and elixir. And they're just higher quality of fragrances being made now. Now they're taxing and they're charging for it. But still. Now, excuse me, does this fragrance smell good? Yeah, it does. It does. If you are looking for an inexpensive office fragrance, there you go. If you are looking for an inexpensive gym scent, here you go. If you are looking for a fresh, slightly woody fragrance with just a little bit of pop, that's not too overpowering, that's not loud, that's not obnoxious, here you go. So for $19, this fragrance probably does exactly what it's supposed to do. It's warm, it's inviting. I'm sorry. A little bit floral. Does exactly what it's supposed to do. But it's just underwhelming. That's just it. Hey, what do you want me to tell you? It's just underwhelming. And we grow in everything we do in life. You know what I'm saying? In the days of Hellcats, of course, not everybody drives a Hellcat. But if you've driven a Hellcat, it's going to be hard for you to get in a 1992 Civic and drive it. And there's nothing wrong with a Civic, nothing wrong with a Hellcat. I don't want either, but I'm just saying. You see where I'm going with that? Like once you've driven something with the 15, 16-inch touchscreens and the remote starts and all the fancy stuff, it's hard to get in a car that's got roll down windows. I mean, you're just gonna be like, you ain't gonna want to pay for it. You know what I mean? And that's kind of where I'm at with my fragrance journey. If it's a good smelling fragrance, it's a good smelling fragrance, and I will tell you. And this is one I think is a good smelling fragrance. I think it would be great for a teenager. I think it would be great for the situations that I just named. Great gym scent. Because it's light, it's inoffensive. People will like it. I think it would make a great office scent. I think it would make a great close encounter scent. I don't think anybody would tell you that you smell bad with this fragrance on. And again, it is the hardest one out of the whole bunch to pass. Not hard to pass on that Drakkar at all. That wasn't even, very disappointed. This is a little tougher because I can't actually say that I don't like the scent profile of this, because I do like the scent profile. But again, when you add it all up together, you're talking about $60 in mediocrity, and there's no point. There's absolutely no point. So again, not disappointed per se, well, a little bit. I don't know if disappointed would be the right word, because, I bought these fragrances to give you my opinion on them and to keep you from buying them and making the same mistake. Because I know some of you are in places where you can't return stuff. And if you buy these from Ross, I don't think you can return them. And I just don't want you to take them in on a trade or whatever and waste your time and your money. That's part of what I do as a reviewer. So again, not trashing any of these fragrances, just saying where I am in my fragrance journey. No bueno. It's a no. It's a no. This one actually gets better as it sits on skin. It does. I'm gonna actually recommend this for a teenager or somebody new along their fragrance journey, or somebody that doesn't have a ton of fragrances. I'm gonna actually recommend this. It does come out a little bit harsh because of the alcohol in it, but once that dissipates, you have a very nice and wearable fragrance with a light kiss of rose or floral, wood, just very basic. And it's going to be a compliment magnet. This fragrance is gonna get tons of compliments. It'll be one that you wear and people will go, ooh, you smell nice. And you're gonna be like, I wore Sedley yesterday and you said nothing. And I wear this today. That's what this is gonna be. I'm telling you, it's gonna be that kind of fragrance. But I'm also telling you, if you're the type of guy who is into better made, higher quality fragrances, stay away from it. And then remember, that was the same situation I had with the Toomey fragrances. Unwind and what was the other one I had? The two that I sold? I can't remember. Unwind and Awaken. They smelled great, but they smelled like 1,000 other fragrances that I had in my collection and that I had smelled, and there was absolutely zero point in me keeping them. I wasn't attached to them, so there was no point in keeping them. So they were gone. I don't get attached. Line from one of my favorite movies. I never allow myself to get attached to anything that I can't walk out on in 30 seconds or less when I feel the heat coming around the corner. Just saying. But anyway, that's gonna be it, guys. All of these are going back. And I know that frustrates a lot of you. Why do you buy the fragrance? Because I'm a reviewer, bro. You think I'm the only reviewer that returns fragrances? No, I'm just the only one that tells you I'm gonna return them. The rest of them buy them, review them, and sell them, or do whatever they're gonna do with them. I'm the only one that tells you I'm going to return them. So it is what it is. But Burlington will be getting these back. But anyway, listen, if you have any familiarity with these fragrances, let me know. Let me know your thoughts on them and tell me what you think about them. But your boy Treyway, they good up out of here. They ain't got to go home. They got to get the hell up out of here. So with that being said, guys, thank you for being the best part of this channel. I hope you all have a beautiful weekend. Man, I hadn't said it on the channel, but man, Irish took it on the chin the other night, didn't they? They did. But they fought back and made a game out of it. Ohio State's got the best paid football team, maybe in all of football, but definitely in all of amateur football. But hats off to Ohio State. They were clearly the better team, and I knew that going in. So I'm man enough to say maybe even Penn State may have been a little bit better of a football team, maybe even been a little bit more talented. But you know, Notre Dame scrapped their way out of that one, and they tried to scrap their way back in this one. They just, you know, just too many guns on that Ohio State football team. But I'm gonna tell you what, Marcus Freeman brought out the dog in South Bend, so bright things to come from the Irish. I like where we're going. So, but anyway, guys, I love you all, and may God bless you all. Until next time, peace.